Aloha, everyone. I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so give us 2 minutes if you're joining us, and I'll be right back. other channels. Um, so let me just double check. Can you guys hear me? Just nod yes if you can. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, woohoo! All right, I'm looking forward to bringing it. It's never a dull moment when you're going live. I guess that's why a lot of people like to pre-record, but then it wouldn't be as fun, right? But anyways, back to what we do. We're here to talk about things that have to do with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness while protecting our First Amendment rights. Please welcome to our episode 11. We're very excited. We're going to keep moving on and build the show as we go. This is our opportunity to share a platform to speak of some of the things that we need to focus on, and including exposing corruption, telling the truth, introducing and letting people into our world of what is really going on, because a lot of people don't really hear what's going on behind the scenes. But I really appreciate all of your support with Redtime Stories. Just to recap, last week we had the amazing Steven Stern, who is a young 82-year-old who is just a patriot beyond belief, full of total inspiration. So don't forget to visit his website at www.theflagshirts.com. All right, so now we're going to get ready. We have a great team of patriots who've been elected. Super excited. It's been quite a challenge to get to this point, but I think we have a great team put together now for the Hawaii Republican Party. Some are on today from the May 6th convention, and then we had 3 others that needed to go through the runoff races, and that was just completed recently. Now we get a chance to finally get the team together. A couple people couldn't make it today. Unfortunately, Tim Dahlhaus, who was elected as the chair of HRP, couldn't make it, and Monique DuPont was unable to make it as well. So we have a couple questions that have been submitted, and we're going to talk story a little bit, get to know everybody, and kind of break the ice. So without further ado, let's bring on our guests. We got Jody, we got Keone, Taylor, Lohi, and Joelle. Hey guys, just do a sound check. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure that the audience can hear you.
Hello.
So yeah, we had a few questions that were brought in. Some that don't really apply to the Hawaii Republican Party, but it seems like it's a common topic that people want us to address. And of course, it's common interests and concerns of the community. But before we go there, please introduce yourselves and tell everybody what position that you have been elected to. You want to go ahead? I see Jody first on my screen, so let's start with Jody.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Jody Beatty, and I have been elected to the HRP State Treasurer position. Thank you.
Awesome. Keone.
Aloha, everybody. Hey, Keone Simon just got elected, as Jody said, also for the Vice Chair of Coalitions. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Go ahead, Joelle. Can you hear me, Joelle? You're muted. Let's get you unmuted. Uh-oh. Go ahead, Lohi. It looks like she's we lost her for a minute.
Aloha, Lohi Goodwin from the Big Island. Aloha to everybody. I've been elected as the Vice Chair of Coordinated Campaigns for the Hawaii Republican Party. Nice to see you, Tamara. Thank you.
Nice to see you guys again as well. Go ahead, Taylor.
Aloha, I'm Taylor Komoano, the Hawaii Republican Party Secretary. And thank you, Tamara, for having us.
Oh, I'm excited. Let's see. Somebody is having some trouble signing on, so let's see who that is. So we might end up with a surprise guest because it's an unknown number. Awesome. So you guys, I mean, how do you guys feel now that the elections are over? Have you guys met? Have you started anything? Do you have some goals? I know one of the most anticipated races, we're just going to go straight to it, was the treasurer position. So that was quite a race and a competition that you had there, Jody. So how does it feel now to get over that hurdle, and what goals do you have now set for yourself?
Well, thank you. Yes, it was a long journey, but grateful to be here. Uh, the team, we did meet. Not everybody, because of our schedules this week, have been very hectic, but we have been able to meet for the exec committee to be able to say hello and get to know each other. Excited to work with everybody. We all want to bring this party back up to its prime and glory. And so, personally, for myself, my goals um, is one, to hopefully bring transparency and to bring, um, you know, to let everybody know where our funds are, and be able to have reports during our meetings so all the counties know what they have. And I have started that. Was able to meet with the previous state treasurer, and um, yeah, so I'm moving forward. So thank you.
Okay, yeah, great. We have a few more questions for you, because you know what people there are some questions that people are dying to know about, and we want to address the elephant in the room. But I also wanted to take a little bit of time to talk to Keone. This is the first time that you've been on Redtime Stories, and so how is that going with you in this race with you, and what kind of goals do you have set for yourself?
Right on. Thank you for the question. You know what? It's great to be a part of this team. I'm excited. I know quite a few other people before, like Joel. We ran for office again, and we met a few times. Taylor, and it's just great to be here. We all got families. It's a volunteer basis, but we're off to the races. We got so much work. We've been to like 3 meetings already. I just had turnover from Henry Vincent, good friend of mine. I knew him when I ran in 2020, so I knew him in 2019. Great man. And so we were trying to take over where he left off. You got a lot of coalitions out there that he set up. So I spoke with Jen, got meetings with her. Kaulana Lee, I mean, we ran. He was a great guy, even though I beat him by two votes. And I would love to have him on the team. So I'm going to sit down with him hopefully this coming week so we can build the team up. And I think it'll take a lot of work. We got a lot of work ahead of us. We don't have enough people voting. Well, voting our values, right? Voting our values. Kind of like Henry was telling me, Keone, it's hard to just go out there and tell the Democrats to vote Republican. But you can say vote their values. If you vote your values, I think we don't have a problem. I think a lot of people don't vote their values; they just vote Democrat, because most people are 2/3 of all who are conservatives. They are, they love their freedom. So that we got a lot of work ahead of us, a lot of meetings, but at the same time, I'm just happy to be a part of the team, and great to be like the Lohi, Jody, and all this team. It's fun. We got a lot of work, but I'm excited for it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely can see that, being involved for the past couple years, and active. I know that there's some challenges, and we can delve more deeper into that as we go, as we, continue on in the conversation. But Joelle, she was also one of in the runoffs as well. So Joelle, how do you feel now that this is all over with and you are the champion?
Well, I think that first of all, it feels good to be of service to people, and what it is I'm doing and how it is I'm involved is something that I feel strongly about in terms of being a part of the contributing change. So I don't necessarily need to be in a leadership position. I just feel like being involved with the party just in totality, whether it's I'm a precinct chair or whether I am the vice chair of community service. I think that taking action is what the most important thing is. And I think that building a cohesive team is what I look forward to doing. So I I appreciate the word champion, but at the same time, I would say that, we're kind of, I don't view myself in a position of leadership as somebody who is over other people. I see myself as somebody who is here to serve and elevate the other members of our party, and also just to grow it, So that's kind of my perspective and take on it. I know that Bea and Anna have both a lot that they can contribute to the party. And so I think that they're both champions as well to just get up and talk in front of 300 people at the convention and stuff. That's not easy, to campaign and these sorts of things. So I just want to make sure everyone is feeling encouraged and continue to get people to stay inspired with the party, that kind of thing.
Right. And I know one of the things that you mentioned, and I look forward to you sharing more of it, is a lot of food resources and getting involved with that in community service. I think it's super important because I don't know about you guys with the new information that's coming out with manufactured food and so forth. It kind of reminds me of we're headed down the road of Soylent Green. If you haven't seen that old movie, and it's kind of disturbing. Somebody brought that up to earlier today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad sent me that movie last year. I'm sorry, a couple years ago, right before he passed away. I'm like, oh, great, thanks, Dad. Talking about where our world is headed and where our food resources are coming from. So I'm looking forward to expanding and teaching people more on how to be independent in our food source, because the Hawaii Republican Party, in my opinion, and I don't know what you guys think about this, should be more than just raising money and recruiting candidates, although that's our primary purpose. But if we can pull our resources together, I think that's how we're going to be able to build a stronger community. So anyways, we'll go ahead and Taylor and Lohi, I just got a question for you guys, so I'm going to do this. So you guys have been in position for several weeks already. What have you learned in this short amount of time? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
um, uh, you know, th- things are kind of creeping along. You know, um, I'd like it to go. I like things to go faster. We got
Mm-hmm.
some moves we got to make. We're all doing our parts or whatever right now. I'm actually trying to work on the grassroots and trying to get trying to get together with the counties and having them, they need to get them to flesh out their districts and man all the positions that we have, because as a candidate, and I know you guys ran too, it's hard to carry all that water by yourself. And would be
Mm-hmm.
nice, especially like over where I'm at, it's Kona to Volcano and all of the south side. And I mean, to be, nobody can be in two places or three places at one time. So um I think my main focus right now is going to be getting these county chairs to push training down to their precincts and have them organized, because when where the rubber hits the road, that's our precinct captains in the neighborhoods there. So um I'm looking forward to the chair's plan. I think he has 100 days to put that out, so I'm very looking forward to that, so we can get running. But I'm looking forward to a new rules chair, like everybody
Yeah.
else in the party, and getting these platforms manned. So we put, some candidates were put up, and they were put down, and it's time to keep rolling them through, because we got our whole all eight of us are all seated, but now here comes the other part, especially the rules chair, which for an unelected position carries a lot of swagger there. So um yeah, we need to get on that, and the sooner the better. But I'm enjoying myself so far. Thank you.
Uh, awesome. You like the challenges. I know there's big challenges ahead, and we're running out of time. That's for sure. How about you, Taylor?
Right. I agree with Lohi. I mean, it was exciting and overall a lot of learning curves and things that I didn't expect. But overall, it makes me more optimistic and hopeful for where we can be. And I think now in this season, talking to people that have been around HRP and reassuring them that there's a lot of changes and it's going to be good, and that they are we the people, that they can share perspectives, suggestions, ideas, and that we are open the executive committee is open for everybody's ideas and what they'd like to see in their counties and how to improve Hawaii, because that's how we work together as a team. So building relationships with the different counties is interesting, and just seeing where people's strengths are and their talents. And sometimes I'm like, wow, they should have been secretaries instead of me. But, I'm like, well, there's a lot to learn. And overall, I think kind of seeing like the numbers of things, like in the database, and looking like, wow, there is actually a lot of conservatives and there's errors in the database. But I think overall, when we all work together in our precincts, is going to be even more powerful and the numbers don't lie. So just happy that the runoff elections is completed, and the next convention will be smoother.
Yeah.
And looking forward to who will be the new rules chair and IPPRC, and just gonna keep on building the team, and we're gonna be a unstoppable fortress.
Oh, I see that. I mean, I see a lot of hope. I mean, so far, everyone who's been elected, I'm pretty excited about, and a lot of people share the same sentiments about it. But there's three obstacles, right? That the three of you are going to have to face. One is we got to straighten out the books and the issues with the accounts and getting an audit. And people don't want an audit just to 2020. They want an audit of HRP all the way back to 2016, because that's where a lot of the issue seems to stem from the documents that I've reviewed. And then you guys mentioned also the rules chair, which is super important. Some people don't think it is, but it is, because it's how we interpret the rules, and we need to interpret it, in my opinion, on behalf of the party and the people, and not to weaponize the rules to benefit those who don't best serve the party. And Taylor, you also brought up another good point too, is that GOP data center is extremely important, because that's a major tool for our district chairs, for our precinct presidents to update and communicate. And I think that has been a lacking weakness, of where people have been limited to their communication to the community. And unless we're going to win and be a force to be reckoned with, we got to communicate with the grassroots. I don't know what you guys think about that, but from being inside and now the outside and somewhat in between, there's a common denominator there. And so I think that you guys have your hands full, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got to count on Joelle and Keone and Terry. You guys are the ones who are kind of almost all, although everybody is in recruitment stage, you guys are like in different pockets of recruiting, in community service, coalitions, and candidate recruitment. You guys are out there. You're the people in the community to try and bring it in. And as a collective team, to get this ball rolling, we got to prepare a nice commodity to sell to the community, so they believe in the party again. So with that, for all of you, if we can take this one by one, including county chairs, about half of the XCOM is not on Oahu, which I think is a good thing. I don't know about you guys, but I think that really helps bring the islands closer together. And it's the first time in history. Do you believe that this is going to hinder or help the team to get more Republicans elected? Do you want to start, Keone?
Tamar, try to repeat that question. I heard that the beginning of the question. What was that about?
Sure. Do you feel that with half of the XCOM team that are not on Oahu, do you believe that this is a good thing? And do you think it's going to hinder or help the team get more Republicans elected?
You know what? It's I personally like meeting face to face. I'll be honest with you. Nothing like meeting face to face with people. I'm a people person, so I prefer that. But unfortunately, it's set up that way. And I know they'll fly over. And I spoke with Tim the other day about getting us all together. And it's really about relationships, right? I mean, house divided cannot stand. So we come together. And I think everybody has great motives. I mean, everyone on the team is good people. They mean well and have some concerns. I mean, I don't really know the concerns coming from the outside so much, but if you got concerns, and I trust you guys, and we'll go ahead and we'll fix the things that need to be fixed, and we move forward. So I don't think it'll be that big a deal. I think Tim has time on his hand, and I think he really had the pure motives to make it better. So I don't think it'd be that big a problem.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Joelle?
How do I feel about what Keone said, or do you
Yeah,
want me?
well, yeah, also a little bit of what Keone said, and do you think it's a hindrance from half of the executive team being so spread out?
I I'm like Keone in the sense that I like to meet people face to face, but I also think that having it spread out is actually going to benefit us.
Mhm.
I do also think for community service, getting representatives from every island and hopefully from every county, and then hopefully even drilling down
Mhm.
further and getting buy-in from each district is really going to allow for our fingers to get out to every section of all the islands, because we really do need to have a reputation that kind of goes out and reaches to the far corners, not just within, the epicenter of Oahu or whatever. Everyone matters. And it is weird because we're all spread out and separated by the ocean. So I get that. Um, I am looking forward to, just to kind of echo what Lohi and Taylor said, is, as a representative for the rules for my District 21. Last night we had our first subcommittee meeting for um, the rules body. And so it's been a little bit of, I don't know if my chimes are causing problems, so sorry about that, but
It's
it's
okay.
been a little bit interesting because, we have rules chair from the previous executive committee. Well, actually, the rules chair who's leading things right now, Boyd, is actually appointed, and he was appointed, I believe, by Diamond Garcia, and he's actually the vice chair. And so we're just excited to see what Tim is going to do as far as an appointment. Whoever he appoints for the rules chair, for example, it has to be approved by the executive committee. And so that said, we have provided suggestions and we're looking to see forward movement. We were supposed to have a meeting tonight, Thursday, and that got
Mhm.
pushed to next week, Thursday. And so I think that once we have an established, agreed upon rules chair, finance chair, and IPPRC, then that's when I feel like everything will kind of be settled in such a way that we can have full cohesion and work together. But until we, I feel like, place those final players, there does seem to be a little bit of difficulty to get total buy-in from, for example, everybody on the rules committee. From my perspective, I can see both sides of it. I can see why people would say, hey, the holdover appointed chair is applicable, and that's how I interpret the rules, is that it's appropriate for him to be continuing the meetings. And then I also understand the other side of things, which is, hey, no, we need to see a newly appointed person now that we have a new executive committee. And so I think there might be a little bit of back and forth with that idea being challenged. And once the appointment happens for each one of those three chairs, the finance, IPPRC, and rules, then that's when I feel like it'll kind of clear things up and allow us to get more focused. So I think it's good that we have representatives on all the different islands. I feel like there's solid cohesion amongst the 8 chairs who recently got elected in with this last Hilo convention. And I really look forward to working with everybody. I already am talking to Keone. Hey, we're talking about Henry Vincent and what we can do. I've spoken to some of the previous community service chairs. Steve Lipscomb actually had a very detailed outline and overview of what he wanted the direction to be in 2019. I also spoke with Jeff Coakley, who CC'd me on an email with all the representatives that were in place during his leadership. And so he was trying to get a representative on each island for community service so that we can really make sure that we're not having an unbalanced focus when it comes to getting out and touching base with everybody on all the islands. So I think that's a little bit long-winded, but that's my 2 cents on it.
Oh, no, no. It was really great. I mean, you gave a lot of insight, some honesty, and the goals and what you're doing so far. So, really appreciate it, because people don't know. And that's why, I'm really grateful that you guys are on here so you can tell people what we're doing. Because, we hear a lot of people going, oh, they don't care. They're not doing anything. But I think you guys are doing quite a bit, and you're headed on a positive trajectory. It's exciting. And you're right. We have some obstacles to get over, and that rules chair seems to be a little thorn in everybody's foot right now. How soon would you guys like to see that rules chair filled?
I want to see it filled tonight, Thursday, but because the meeting is postponed, we're going to have to defer to next Thursday. But my hopes and aspirations are that we have everything settled as far as who the official leadership is so that we can get to business and we don't have to continue delaying things. I'm more of a fast paced person. Sometimes I need to slow down, admittedly so. So I'm sure other people who are on the team will tell me to slow down and be quiet sometimes, and that's a good thing. I'm open to that. But for me, let's do it already. That's my take
Yeah.
on it.
Well, I have to agree because you guys, realistically, we're headed up on this weekend is the beginning of the July 4th celebrations, and that leaves us 5 months left in 2023, and then already in 2024, we're running out of time. We got candidates to do, we got fundraising to do, we got recruitment to do, and so forth. So time is of the essence, and time is not forgiving. So Taylor, with the GOP database, that is a stickler. How are you working that issue out?
Thank you for the question. So, talking with the different counties and seeing who actually has had GOP access before and if they know how to run it or do training. So, right now we're working on having trainings for the counties and the districts and then going to the precinct levels. So, it's very intricate and a lot of details. But overall, I think we're going to get it in the next 3 months. A lot of
Right.
people, right? Like all hands on deck with the database. And I would like Honolulu to be, a great example. So I personally talked to some district chairs already that who would like to have presentations and just set up things so we can have a walk list and learn how to have a great attitude, verbiage, when we're out there making those connections. Some of it is rekindling those connections and saying, hey, we have new leadership. This is what's going on. Come and run with us. So that's exciting. And overall, just being positive about that we get to do this and that it's in our hands now.
Awesome. And Lohi, how is it being, the first chair? How are you and Tim Dahlhaus working together in making a lot of these obstacles possible?
Like I said before, Tamara, it's I'm waiting on the plan. I'm waiting on you know what is this plan, and we get that in 100 days, and I get it, but he asked me to go and try and work with Taylor on the database and getting training and getting recordings of the training and getting them disseminated, and that's cool because that's how we're gonna win. We're gonna win with the people. We're not gonna win with the eight of us here. But so far so good, and I think Tim's feeling his way around a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. He's not. He's new too, so um we just try to be patient with each other, and as soon as that plan comes out, then we can discuss it and start rolling. But yeah, so far so good, and you know um back to the platforms. it's I like to see, every meeting I like to see a new one. Let's put somebody up every meeting. Let's make that an agenda item every meeting until it's done. Because or two or three or something, because I know suggestions have been made,
Mhm.
and we gotta start going here already. So I really like to see the rules. I think the finance needs to be done too, because we need money, and our platforms. I don't know too many. I met Doug a couple times. I thought he was great, but you know I, all of you guys just submit whatever you have to him. But I think that should be a standing agenda item until this stuff is filled. So um I'm gonna reach out to and suggest that on every agenda. Let's put somebody up there, because longer we spin our wheels here, then the temp guy just stays there. Which um you can say what you want about him, but I mean, we that state committee meeting, it was kind of weird, where it's like, okay, well, if you guys do this, I'm gonna shut it down in a week. So have a short turnaround time to shut down what you guys just voted on. I just thought that was way out of line. I voiced that in front of the exec committee, and um we got to get this fixed, because the longer we let this linger, there's problems, there's rumbling, there's rumbling within the party, and we don't need that. We need to make it right, and drop all of that, and come together, and just start rolling as one. So um but as for me and Tim, I think we're learning each other. I'm being patient with him, he's being patient with me, and we're my role is not very defined, but I'm trying to see where I could be the most useful here, because there's no SOP, there's no hand down from the last person. When I ran for office, I never met the last person, never heard of him, I didn't even know who it was. So um yeah, we're learning right now, but we're ready to start rolling too. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that and being very transparent. That's what people are expecting, is honesty and transparency. No matter whether it's good or bad, they just want to know. Well, speaking of transparency, of course, we got to go to Jody, because um, have you gotten any headway, or when you are going to be implementing an audit? Do you have ideas of who is going to be doing the audit?
As of right now, no. The chair does get to elect who, um, who to select. The execcom did approve 2,500 um, for the audit to be done. Now, just based off of my past experience and the people who I have reached out to, they have been asking like questions like, how many accounts are we doing, and all of this stuff that I did not have answers to at the time. So I could not put forth recommendations of people um, that I have previously worked with. I still believe it should be somebody outside of the party. I know that there's been recommendations for um, some in-house ones, and personally, just to keep it clean and for best practices, it should be somebody independent, outside, not really related to the Republican Party, if possible. Just to make it clear and through. Um, I have met with the previous treasurer, like I mentioned this week. Was able to get some of the accounts. I still need to meet with the bookkeeper, who has been out. She's out ill right now, so I have not been able to meet with her. And I leave on a trip tomorrow. So upon my return, I will be meeting with her to get down to the nitty gritty of the nuts and bolts of all the accounts. I do have access to the accounts via the bank, but all the technical financial statements and stuff like that, I'm still waiting to meet with her on. So as for the audit, yes, we are having one, but until I can give more details to others, auditors, I could not get a price quote from them. So I wasn't able to make any suggestions at this time.
Is the state chair willing to take suggestions from members?
Yes, yes, he is.
Okay.
It was put out at the state committee meeting, I believe. Sorry,
Okay.
all my meetings are starting to merge together, whether it
Right.
be,
If there's
so my
suggestions,
apologies, but it was mentioned. Oh, I'm sorry, Taylor?
oh no, if they have suggestions on someone to refer, they can send it to my email at taylor@gophawaii.com.
Yes.
There's been a
Awesome.
few.
You want to say that one more time for people to send their suggestions to you?
Yes, for an audit or person you want to recommend to do the audit, you can send an email to taylor@gophawaii.com.
Thank you. Thank you, Jody. I kind of find it a little bit strange that the past treasurer doesn't have access to the party's own data books and information that needs to be transferred over to the next treasurer. But you know, hopefully that'll be straightened out shortly and we can move on, because it's very important so we know where our money has been, where it's going, and how much we need to raise, because I know that the party, is coming in a position where we need to really rally the troops together. And I don't know about you guys, but you guys have the reach to build teams from the counties, and maybe we could all collectively get together and do a unified fundraiser in the meantime, while a decision is being made to get a finance chair. I know in the past, though, we really didn't have a finance chair, and it was the executive team that tried to pull it together. So I think that there's opportunity to get creative, and especially to inspire the precincts and the districts. And maybe this will help you in community service or coalitions, and do maybe softball teams and wine and tea parties, and friendly competitions where it's affordable donations, where the grassroots doesn't feel that they're discriminated against financially, that it's only the upper echelon that is entitled to go to the big galas that are pretty expensive. I think that there's a huge opportunity for you guys, and it's really exciting. Keone, I know Henry Vincent. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. Did a great job, and hopefully all things are going well, because he's waiting for a transplant. So, have you reached out some to his coalitions, and what kind of success have you had so far? I know it's a short amount of time, but I know this has been part of your speaking points of preparation if you got the seat.
Yeah, it's Henry's a great guy, like you said. We just spoke yesterday again because he was busy the other day. Turned me over with Jen. You got Julie, and she sent me a bunch of
Yeah.
information. I was just looking at it. She emailed me 3 times today. A lot of information, a lot of meetings. But you know what? That's right up my alley. I love it. I love meeting people, and I like every part, even Lohi, Joel, or any other. If they you ever think this that I should, hey, Keone should come to this meeting, let me know. I love to go out and meet. It's really hitting the pavement and meeting people, getting more groups, in all these different groups, religious, ethnicities, and things like that. I'm meeting them and have them vote their values. And it's about relationships. If they really know that you care, not what you say is how you say it. And really, we really do care. I think this team is a great team, and we care about it. And so with that, it's building the team right now. I'm looking at a secretary because, like I said, I ran for office twice. My wife told me we're never running again, but 2024 is right around the corner. So I joke around. Anybody that ran for office, he knows too, and Joel, it's tough. It is tough, man. Family, friends, a lot of people sell you out, but it is what it is. It makes you stronger, and we know what we're fighting for. Like you said in the beginning of the podcast, we got a lot going on in this state and this country, and we need men and women to stand up and really care for their communities, and you got to be strong. And so with that being said, I'm excited. Yeah, Henry's on the mainland. He's been up there 3 months now. So he's waiting for a thing. So I'll be in contact with him, and he's emailing me more of his information. So it's wonderful of him to give me that, to help me get off the ground as we build this team. And we got meetings after meetings after meetings, and trying to find where, I guess, the meeting, our on Kapiolani, our meeting, they normally would meeting at the GOP room, I guess the office there, but I guess they had some issues. They had to fix it. So we're looking at ways where we can go and start meeting, because they're meetings. We're pushing meetings already. We want to get together Second Amendment meetings. We got all different types of stuff that coming up. So I'm excited about it. So I'm balancing kids and coaching kids and all these things, but it's something I love and I want to be a part of change. And I know like the whole team, they're here for a reason because they love this place and they're sacrificing their time, their family time, and their monies and things like that. So yeah, if you ever got something tomorrow in Maui, I mean, I go there off and on for work, but if you do, please let me know. Visit me. I'd love to come up and speak and meet more people up there because we need coalitions on every island, even Ulohi and things like that. And I'll pay my own way. I don't mind. I enjoy what we're trying to do here. So
Yeah,
thank you.
that would be great to get you to come and speak at Maui. I don't know if you're going to be here for July 4th. There's a barbecue picnic going on Maui. So if anyone's interested, go to the website MauiCountyGOP.com and we'll put a contact information so you could get more information. But that would be great, if we could do county by county and really work with each other, work with, not against, because we're supposed to be a team. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break from our sponsor. And it looks like we have East Hawaii on here. And if you guys don't mind, we'll bring him on and see what he has to say. And then just have a few more minutes in closing and move along. I mean, and I'll try and there's like, I don't even know how many questions, but I'm going to try and pick one or two to get out there so that we address the people who are watching as well. So thank you. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We want to hear really quick from our sponsor, Be Nourished, the best honey products on the planet.
Honey. It's one of the greatest gifts to man. With millions of wildflowers in every bottle, the nourishing power of honey is still yet to be fully discovered. Be Nourished Healing Products combines healing ingredients from around the planet to the purest honey from the island of Maui to bring magic to your taste buds. The best honey from the most beautiful place to nourish your body, mind, and soul. From our hearts to yours, be nourished.
Okay, aloha everyone and welcome back. And if you decide to go and get some Be Nourished products, please put in Liberty and you get a 22% discount. I can tell you that Terry, who unfortunately was hospitalized. So hey Terry, we all wish you well, get better. Everybody give her the shaka. We're thinking of you. Pray, sending you lots of hugs and prayers. And she said she bought it and she thinks it's amazing. I know I've got the product too, and it is delicious. So before we move on with a couple other questions to our panel, East Hawaii Chairman, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and what's going on?
Sure. I'm Mark Jones, and just got elected Saturday. As you all probably know, our
Congratulations.
past chair, thank you. Our past chair, which there's some question about that, Helen Tupai, and it's a very contentious situation of about, I'm not sure if it's 50-50, but, she is our past chair. And like I said, that's kind of a big thing I'm dealing with. Also, there's, the whole District 5 issue, and that's another big one. Unfortunately, we had our county meeting scheduled for Thursday the 6th at 6 o'clock. So I guess we're going to have to reschedule that because the new state meeting has been moved to that. Shouldn't be a problem. My goal is just to kind of keep everybody together now because, it was kind of a surprise to have Helen resign, but that's all right. There's some people that are just angry about that. And I don't quite understand that. If you feel like you're not doing the job the best you can and you resign, I think that's admirable, to have people that wanted you to do it and then get disappointed and then be really hateful about it is I don't think that's good. So right now, I'm just kind of juggling keeping everybody together and positive. Um, we need to come up with a platform and a mission statement for East Hawaii. The Hawaii GOP in general, in the nation is, one of the last. Um, and East Hawaii might be one of the last in the state. And I really want to make us number one. Um, we want to have more fun and build more families around
Oh, I think we're losing you, Mark.
EP by gathering more,
Mark, we're losing you. You're
uh,
breaking up.
learn
I'm gonna
the CRP
let's
in
see.
the
Mark,
state.
if you can hear me, if you
Will
can sign out and sign back in. So it sounds like Mark is happy to be part of the Hawaii Republican Party over there in East Hawaii, from what I gathered, and he's finding challenges. Helen Tupai ran for office. She's a wonderful lady, and I know that her plate was full, and a lot of the challenges that she, from what I know, is that she was unable to juggle a lot and found a lot of challenges going on. And I guess the question has been, because it was brought to my attention, is Helen Tupai the past chair? The answer is yes. Even if she served a short amount of time, just as Diamond Garcia served under 2.5 months, and he's recognized as the past chair with the Hawaii Republican Party, as Helen Tupai is recognized as the past chair, because precedence has been set and it doesn't state full term within the bylaws. So just to clarify that, a little bit in the rules. So I'm being host and a little bit of clarification as well. So, but if anybody knows Mark and can get back into, okay, he's back on. That apparently there is no meeting tonight for the XCOM, Mark. So I'm going to bring you back on, and maybe you could do a little bit of a closing. I'll give you the floor again so you can finish what you wanted to share, and then we could go on, because I think that a lot of these new executive members, these new faces, would be more than happy to help you rebuild your team over there. So go ahead. I'll give you a little bit more time to share with us, so we'll move on.
Okay, yeah. I agree. There are some of us, and pretty much a lot of us, that believe that she is, in fact, the past chair. How can she not be the past chair? That's almost like, you can identify as the past chair, but you are not the past chair. The past chair is the past chair. Um, so that's one of the things I got to deal with. And, we're going to get to the bottom of that, and that's not going to be a problem. We need to keep together. We don't have a real platform here in East Hawaii, or a mission statement. We need to keep together. I don't know where I was breaking up, when I was talking the last time, but we can take care of a lot of business on online and on Zoom, and we can have more times that we get together to have fun with friends, family, and new members. Um, Getting new members is important. Also, I've appointed Gwenda Mappa. She was my vice chair when I was District 3 chair, and she is now the District 3 chair. So we expect good things from her. And yeah, we're just going to keep it together, move forward, and get things off to a good start. It's hasn't even been a week yet.
Well, I
So,
think it's a huge opportunity, Mark, and I know many people appreciate you stepping up. It's a big seat to fill, being a county chair. But look at all these other faces that are on the show with you right now, who are having a fresh
sure.
start, and this is a huge opportunity for everybody to connect and work together. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better scenario, in my opinion. We need new ideas, fresh faces, because the old way isn't working. Otherwise, we would have been winning by now. Um, with that being said, what are your immediate? I know you guys have mentioned, which I know is super important to everybody, and it seems to be a little bit of contention about the rules chair, and hopefully, that's going to be addressed so that we can move on. Everybody wants to move on, but set that aside. What are some really great things that we can try and do in the meantime in the next 2 to 3 weeks, not just from your position, but what would you do to encourage the counties to do so that we can all pull together and unify and be on the same page? Do you want to go ahead and start, Jody?
I believe that if the counties can have their meetings and bring the unity of all of the precincts and everything, I mean, just have a little get together. We need to unify this party right now, and it just seems like there's so much contention with everybody of past chairs and new people and stuff. And my whole goal is that, okay, what happened in the past, guys, it's in the past, and yes, I know it burned some bridges for people, but please give this new XCOM a chance. We are still all learning. We are still working together, but we are here, like how Keone said, we are all volunteers, and we're doing our best to try to bring unity of the party. So that would be my recommendation for all of the counties, to just have a little picnic down at the beach. 4th of July celebrations are happening. I wish I was going to be on island, but I'm not. I'll be in Orlando, but
Woohoo!
yeah, but please, talk to, like how you mentioned, what can we start doing of our mini fundraisers that we can start to help build up our party? Because guys, that's what we really need. We need healing right now, and to be able to let the past be the past, and so that we can bring this party and move it forward. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to let Keone go because I know that he has to get off to work here pretty soon. So go ahead, Keone. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much. They didn't call me in today, so I got a day off. So
Oh, okay. So then we can just go on for another hour, right, guys? No.
then we got I guess our meeting for tonight is canceled. I didn't even know that, so that's so I can get ready to go camping. I'm taking my kids camping tomorrow, but so that'll be nice.
Fun.
I'd just like to echo what Jody said. Exciting. I know there's some things that many of you guys let me know about how things were run in the past, and I'm a straight guy. I'm going to tell you the truth. I believe in running things in the right manner. So if there's some things that had some concerns, that I'm here to help fix them as part of the team, and we'll move forward. But I don't want to get, like you said, not caught up in everything. There's some time and places that we need to move forward at time, but we need to fix a lot of things, like you guys stated, and I'm here for that. So, it's like you said, Joey, too. It's about relationships, man, and I love people, and I really do. Like I said last time, I love the scripture. Love covers over a multitude of sins, and that means a lot to me and my family, because we got to remind ourselves that, and how family can be at times. It can be tough with your family. We love each other, but we get into it sometimes. But that's life too. I mean, we just love it through it all. Sometimes you need a few days apart before you can come to that. But I'm excited for as we move forward with this team. And the sooner, like I told Tim, the sooner we can get together and in face, we can all, develop these relationships. And it really takes trust, and really knowing that all these people, and I really believe by the bottom of my heart that they have great intentions. And trying to fix this party. And I'm excited because we got a big task ahead of us in 2024, especially in my district chair. They've been calling me today. They had meetings today. And so we got trying to balance all these things and trying to walk the district and meetings. But you know what? We're the right people for the job. Let's get it done. But thank you.
Oh, thank you, Keone. How about you, Joelle?
Sorry, I was kind of caught up on what Jody and Keone were saying. Can you clarify for me what you're asking?
Basically, the unifying and what we can do in the next 2 weeks, and a message to send out to the entire state and state counties and so forth.
Okay, yeah, excellent. So I've been very excited. I kind of have been developing. I thought that I was going to present tonight at the Thursday meeting. So it looks like next week I'll be presenting my plan, kind of a three-prong approach where we're incorporating and honoring what those before us have done and perpetuating it. And then also incorporating different kinds of seasonal events. For example, 4th of July. That's something that I'm going to speak with on Keone, when we get off the phone, I'm going to talk to him about some ideas that we can send out some flyers to people. I know it's a little bit late in the game, but it doesn't hurt to send out some ideas of community events that people can get involved in for this 4th of July. And yeah, there's another flyer I had sent out to Monique, the chair of communications, earlier today regarding an event on the 18th of August out in Waianae, where there's a church that's going to be working together with the community to talk about awareness of human trafficking and doing different events to help out the community out there. So I've already kind of activated, but one of the things that I foresee that's really going to be beneficial is if we can organize specifically for community and make sure that we have representatives on each island. And so I've already, like I said, reached out to the previous representatives, and I've heard back from some of them. From some of them I still have yet to talk to, but I want to make sure that I gain as much wisdom and advice. I'm not here to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, especially if things had worked in the past and there were wins. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I hope to have my three-prong plan put together, but then also have an idea of the structure for how we're going to disseminate and connect all the islands, all the counties, districts, and start getting out there and, enjoying our communities and showing them how awesome we are.
That's awesome. Thank you, Joelle. Taylor? She's taking it in.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Joelle. With the counties, and just something that I have a vision for is, would you be open and totally comfortable with your family being involved in HRP? When I talk to my family, I let them know what I'm doing, where I'm at, and they're like, "Oh, why would you do something like that?" I said, "So you're, one, informed on how to vote, but two, have a place where, we can be safe and like-minded with, people in the community." I think just doing more community-based functions and barbecues, the beach, we should be able to have conversations with each other rather than bickering about things. So overall, what I would love to just, communicate to the counties is, are you, willing to make the goal a place of HRP somewhere where you can invite your family and, they can support and grow and be a part of the community, because we're going to need every single person to do something, because a lot of things are happening in the legislature, and it's hard to summarize it all because I'm so new to it. But throughout this whole year, learning and studying, seeing all the different changes that's being made, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why we need to be involved and step up. So just giving little talking points and being able to run with that, so we can really make a better Hawaii and take leadership back in these islands, because I feel like it's been destructive for a while, and that's why we're at where we're at. But instead of letting the chaos happen, just being in the eye of the storm and then working together on that. So long story short, but
yeah. There's been a lot of challenges, and like you guys touched on, Keone, Joelle, Lohi, Jody, Taylor, there have been a lot of issues, but I just see it as a huge opportunity to shine and turn that coal into a diamond. That's what I think. And because there's nowhere to go right now except for up, really, because we can't afford to go down, and I don't know how much further down the party can go. So I know, Mark, you're brand new and you got some challenges, but do you have anything that you're going to present to your county, maybe as some kind of incentive to inspire them to get involved? And then after that, I'm going to let Lohi also answer on the same thing.
Sure. Like I said, maybe I was breaking up earlier, but we had our county meeting was set for the next Thursday at 6 o'clock, which now the state meeting's been changed to. So I'm going to have to do some juggling on that. But number one is I've come up with 12 things that everybody as Republicans can agree on. There's things we disagree on, but as long as we have 12 base points that we all agree on: education, abortion, drugs, law and order, food, energy independence, and it goes on. These things we can all huddle around. We need more community outreach to people. That means being more visible. We'd like to we've come up with a little logo. Eventually we'd like to get like some pullovers or shirts or whatever, and when we are in public we can wear those, put up a little tent, have some flags, play some croquet, some badminton. People will come around. We got free water. Engaging with the community, and everybody, even the community, can get behind these 12 points. We support voter integrity. um, there's just lots of different ways that we can do it. I've written a letter to Tim and told him some of my ideas. I was surprised because I go around and look at other GOP websites around the nation, and there's some
Mm-hmm.
pretty nice ones out there. Texas, in particular, they've got
Mm-hmm.
an online store. I didn't realize we did. It's definitely not linked to our website, which it should be, I would think. Um, there's other ways to reach people. I used to do some radio advertising in when I lived on Oahu for a jewelry store that I owned. So there's things like that. Bringing God back into, we can't have liberty without God. And, I've often questioned, especially the last couple of years, is man capable of self-governance? And I don't believe so without God. God is the governor of us. So these are the things I think we can rally around. And, we've got some new tools. EHRP's got a Zoom account now. So that's really awesome. We have access to the database. That's really awesome. So it's just the beginning, and time is short. We need to, we've got elections coming up, and if we don't start recruiting, training candidates, and getting our agenda pushed through, that those are the important things, and stopping this inside bickering and rally around the things that we know we all agree on. That's where I see it.
Thank you so much, Mark. Lohi, the floor is yours.
Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm sorry. I just
Um,
so
Basically,
awesome.
that's okay. I mean, everybody said some great things and insight. It's in giving suggestions and inspiring the counties to get involved. And what can we do in the next couple weeks? Um, what do you feel that we could do in the next couple weeks?
Well, what I could do, what I could do personally is what I'd like to do is get, get make relationships with the county chairs, because
Mm.
when I was in West Hawaii County, we always wanted to be autonomous from the state. We wanted to run our ship the way we run our ship. But if we're going to bring people in and we're going to bring voters and we're going to bring excitement, we need to get down in that precinct level. Period. These are people like down the block, that live in the neighborhood that that have friends there, and um I think that's the most important. Just the guy at the precinct level, the captain, and his neighbors. And um I like to encourage everybody to get involved. We had a lot of energy this past election cycle, and we had a record of people running, like Keone and you, Tamara, and Joelle, and myself. I mean, that's a lot of energy, and I think a lot of that energy came from I don't want to say anger. Maybe that may be a little bit
Yeah.
tough word.
Had enough already, right?
Yeah, enough already. Yeah, we
Enough
all had
already.
enough already. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
um, to those people out there, if any of you listening, man, stay on the horse. Stay on the horse. It's a different it's a different horse now. It's you have people here now that are here to serve you. Here to help, here to here to try to smooth to straighten the path that you got to go. Where we're we're all pulling for our state, and we all had enough. And um the county chairs, I'd encourage them to engage with your districts, and have your districts flesh their precincts out, because we're going to need everybody. And if you can't run and you don't want to run, just there's a place for you. There's work to be done. There's a slot and an opportunity for you to be in. So let's make Hawaii great. Let's get some wins here. I lived
definitely.
here. I lived here kind of long time since when I went to the military, and man, I'm so tired of losing. You ever go on YouTube and watch like a GOP meeting of a place that's winning? Oh, it's
Yes,
awesome. It's so, just to see a functional meeting. It's crazy. It's like, wow, God, why can't we be like that? And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help this party, do my part and voice the truth. The truth stands up on its own. Voice the truth, and let the truth come out, and let's make everything better, and let's be functional. Let's be functional. Let's win. Let's get a couple W's. Keone coaches kids. Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta take L's, and when you're a kid, you get an L. It's like, okay, oh man, you know, yeah, it's time to get some W's. So let's all work together. Let's
Yeah,
get some wins. Yeah, thank you.
definitely. If you guys are okay, I have like one more question, one quick question for Jody, and then one more question for all of you, because it's something that's really important that I think we touch on. I appreciate you guys staying on a little bit longer. And Taylor, I know you're over there in Vegas, but so thank you for participating. And I hope that you win. So play Black 28, by the way. Anyways, so Jody, real quick, it's a big desire. And I know when Maui had their bank account, it really enabled us to be more successful with being able to fundraise and generate funds and support the candidates and so forth. The big question is, will all the counties be able to have their own bank accounts?
There is discussion, okay, but I will let you know that treasurers need to be trained. Um, there was I just found out why it got pulled. I won't discuss that here, but there were things that maybe they just did not know that they should not be doing with the checking accounts. And so until they are trained, um, and we are all on the same page, that's my ultimate goal. Is I've already reached out to all the county treasurers to set up a meeting to discuss our SOP, so that any treasurer coming in can move forward.
Perfect.
um, because quite frankly, everybody, I am personally responsible
Hmm.
for all the funds with this party. And to if I wasn't personally responsible, I could easily say, yeah, go ahead, guys. But until I know that people are trained,
Hmm.
I need to make sure that, one, I protect myself, the party, and my family,
Hmm.
and so I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no yet. But until I can sit down and discuss it with further people, I'm going to say maybe.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, a huge obstacle, or maybe not obstacle, accomplishment that you have done so far is communication. And that is something that has been, a challenge. So involving everybody, it also makes them feel like they're part of and empowered, and they need information. And when they don't have the information, it comes frustration. And when frustration, then they build their own conclusions. And I think that's part of a big, big problem. And we got to be better at communication in all of our departments. So communication, eliminate the frustration so people don't draw their own conclusions. And I just think that's amazing. So that's really good to hear that you guys are all seem like you're willing to reach out and unify the people, the representatives of each county. I think that's amazing. So one of the final topics that I want to touch on just real quick, and I won't keep you guys too long, but election integrity is a big topic right now. And I know that Lillian Kohler, who is the representative for Maui, leaves a hole open in the elections office. And we need to really definitely work on getting somebody to replace that. We can go and we can raise money and we can get the best candidates in the world, but are we spinning our wheels if we're not giving some attention to election integrity? What are some things that we can try and do or share with the public what they can do as well? Because seriously, if we go in and we know we've got great horses in the race, but they're not going to get across the finish line because we don't feel comfortable with the outcome of the election or the machines and the integrity. What can we do, not only as a party, but the people? Who would like to tackle that question first?
I can go ahead a little bit.
Thank you.
Tamara team, I'm going to be honest. There's no way, Joe Biden, 81 million votes, right? At the
Right.
national level. There's no way. You can't even fill up a school cafeteria. But
Fall
on
down, Joe.
Yeah, but on a state level here, my concerns, sure. If you followed Arizona, that's ridiculous that Carrie Lake didn't win. So on this level, we had some concerns in my district also when I ran that after four election cycles, he never got 8,600 votes, never in 12 years, and all of a sudden he gets 8,600, 3,000 more than he normally gets. So we have some concerns, but I think Ariel Tam, I think from the Kaneohe, I think he was part of that team that was looking into that, and that's something we need to look into as a team. We definitely, like you said, we're spinning our wheels if we deny there's no election interference, and I think there are right now with what's going on with the DOJ, FBI, Department of Justice. There's no doubt in my mind there's tampering with it all over this country. So, and Hawaii's a little different because we've been blue for so long, with that. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. And like Jody said, I'm excited for this team. We got a lot of work to do, and we have this cohesiveness, even in a short time, that we can work together and get things done. Because people vote their values, and I like that what he said. People vote their values. Then we shouldn't be a problem, but they're not right now. So that's a little bit about the integrity. That's something we need to address. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Keone. Joelle, do you want to hit that topic real quick?
Yeah, just real quick, I think that it's going to be real important for us to incorporate people like Adriel Lamb and Corrine Solomon with Audit the Vote. I saw an email come out from Tim regarding election integrity as one of the things that's an area of concern. And so I just want to make sure that we're not necessarily reinventing a wheel, right? We had Seth Keshel out to the island. I went and I attended one of his speeches out at the Veteran Center. And so I had written during my run for House of Representatives that we need to be implementing his 10 points, cleaning up the voter rolls, things like that. So I think that there's a lot that can be done. And I look forward to helping to participate in that. But I think that still yet one of the most big things that we can do is get representatives in the Capitol to help change legislation and control what happens, because we can get out there and we can, stand at ballot boxes and watch and monitor things and help prevent fraud there. And it's necessary and important. But we also need to make sure that we are able to get in and rectify some of these laws that have taken us in a wrong direction. So, yeah, that's just a short thing from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Joelle. Now, Taylor, same question for you, but actually, you kind of are in a position to help impact it with enabling and helping everybody with the power to correct and fix and access the GOP data center. So, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So, a little short story about myself that I actually helped in Clark County with the presidential election. And that's what got me really just upset because I seen manipulations with the votes and with the
Wow.
connection and different things that I was like, hey, supervisor, why is this happening? Like, why are you guys just letting people dump in, the ballots, and like nobody knows how to track their ballot if it got counted or if it went through. There's a lot of errors in that. So that's something that is really close to my heart that I really want to just get um, solutions to. And it's going to really need everybody that has GOP access to search in their districts and their precincts and make sure that this is the person. There's no duplicate person. And yeah, I've already kind of seen a lot of mistakes in there. So if we can fix those errors and find solutions, it's gonna be like one by one, like every single name, because the date of birth is missing sometimes, or it's mistaken, and or you don't have a gender, or you have somebody else's email and phone number under you. So yeah, my hope is that the county chairs can just jump on that with the trainings that Lohi's given and the GOP data center. Overall, yeah, election integrity is like key. I see, like I said, I seen it personally, and like people's vote didn't count, and that was unfortunate. That the system says, oh well, it's only like one vote, or 4 people's vote didn't count. What does that matter? No, it really does matter.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers don't lie, so we need to make sure that the country is accountable, and with whatever new modern technology they change, that they need to keep it where you can still have it physically in hand, counting it one by one. I don't care what um, the elections people say. That was a whole other thing with the bills that came up this session, and I was
Right.
watching them, just their tone, their body language. I was like, why are you making up stuff? Like, why are you lying? Be honest, because if you're doing things like that now, like, what makes you think that we're gonna trust you even more so next year, right? So
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you. Did you have something to add, Keone?
Yeah, it brings up an idea what Taylor was saying. With that voter integrity, with the one concern I had for him was the signature verification.
Mm,
If you follow that, that's an easy get out of jail card because my signature is never the same, right? I mean, I'm one of those guys. But I remember when Samantha DeCourt in 2022 in her Senate race was really, really close.
yes.
Look, they throw out quite a few of those signature verifications. Like, hey, and when we're within less than 100. I mean, it was kind of. I'm not sure exactly the numbers, but there's quite a bit of them that are thrown out. And you know
Oh,
how that
wow.
you always throw out the Republican votes, right?
Of course.
It's
How
always
convenient.
exactly. That verification, I'm very concerned with that. That's especially when our races are close. With that Tommy Waters race, with Brenton Alva's races. I mean, it's like wow. When it comes so close, it's easy to sway one way or the other. So we definitely need voter integrity. That's something we need to definitely stay on top of. Thank you.
Thank you. What do you think you can do to introduce in regards to voter integrity there, Mark, in East Hawaii?
Yeah, I agree with Keone. Signature verification seems to be a huge problem. I'm also curious to know who the state's printer is that prints off the mail in ballots. How many are ordered? How many are actually sent out and returned? Um,
Interesting.
I bet they print a lot more than registered voters. They must have to, just in case they lose some, they're some get destroyed, or whatever the case may be. But it seems like a pretty easy question to answer. Who's the printer? How much do we pay them? And how many ballots do they print? Um,
Hmm.
Another thing, back to the bank account thing. I know it was a kind of a different question, but I have to bring it up because I kind of sent this to Tim. There's Maui tried it. It's come up in our meetings as well. In fact, we keep putting it off, but you know, it's an issue that gets tabled and it's going to have to be addressed. But so I come up with something. It's like maybe the counties don't need a bank account in their counties at a separate bank. Maybe the state can have 5 bank accounts on Oahu that's ran by the state treasurer, all from the same bank. Instead of having a ledger, there's an actual account. And then maybe the county treasurers could be issued a debit card on that account that works in conjunction with the state treasurer to keep track of it. That way the money goes to the state treasurer goes to the individual bank accounts, and we vote, and we just have access to our money faster, because right now just buying a ream of printer paper and you want to get reimbursed can take months. So it's difficult to run an organization that way. I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough. Thank you. Hey, and
Mhm.
Jody, and then we'll go ahead and give Lohi the last word and go on.
I basically just agree with what everybody has said. I
Great.
mean, we need our
Ditto.
legislative. Yeah, it basically is ditto. We need our district chairs and our precinct presidents to be out there to do or have, now that they have access, hopefully, to the GOP database, to be able to go out there and do the canvassing and making sure that those names on there are the people who are there. And like how Joelle said with the legislation, of making sure that, I mean, it's ridiculous how things are being run nowadays. And I'm tired. COVID is over, people. No more excuses why everything has to be mailed in.
Mhm.
It's just, so having all of that done, and, putting the boots to the ground, and getting out there, and like Keone, Mr. Aloha, my nickname, everybody,
Right.
that of just going out there and talking with the people, and hearing what they have to say, and getting their input on it. But basically, yeah, ditto. Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. Before I go to you, Lohi, I meant to make a comment of what you had responded to, and I was thinking, shoot, maybe we should just change our mantra or our slogan to "Enough already," and go with that, and just bring us together. Even if it's not official, just make that our mantra. Enough already. So, but go ahead, give you the floor about your final thoughts on election integrity.
Yeah, that's funny because that was my slogan when I ran. Like enough already.
Perfect.
And everybody had enough. Already. And you know it's so funny. I'm not sure if you guys saw that one debate that Joel Kana had on TV with Hin Ji Lee or whatever her name is, where he pointed out that out of 800,000 voters, that 100,000 of the voters were bad. The registrations were
Right.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Well, no, it wasn't that much." And then he just flashed on Instagram the actual Scott Nagle saying that. So I mean, this thing is crooked, up and down, right, left, right, whatever. And then now you see on the news that they're like, "Oh, ranked choice voting is on the table next year," and it's like, wait a minute, I mean, you guys have this fraud down, right? I mean, it's so down, you have it down, but now you're gonna double down and have us pick first and second and third place and weight different people and stuff like that, just like they're doing in Alaska. So what that tells me is maybe that this system that they're running is not it's not bulletproof. It's not
Yeah.
bulletproof, that they still have some worries that they can still take losses. And I'm praying about that. God God's in control of all these things. And I know he stands with the righteous, and the people who's fighting for righteousness. So our legislature passed laws, and I don't know what we can do about that. We can I mean, there's obviously a chink in the armor, or there's there's some vulnerability with what's going on today, in my opinion, that they need to go to this new ranked choice voting, which is garbage. It's
Yeah.
it's not, it's so stupid. I hate to just put it like that. It's stupid, but um, I watched the box down in Naalehu. It's like one lonely box sitting at the police station, but it was under a camera, so that was pretty cool. I talked with the cops and made sure the cameras were working and stuff like that. And I mean, that's stuff that we can do, at our level. But I think as time's going by, I think people are starting to realize that this is all a facade here that's going on. It's all and I hope we just keep waking people up and pointing out the fact that this is I mean, our elections took days to get finalized. And when before, when we just walked in, it was done by what, by the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock news was done already. So um yeah, I think we need to bring attention to that when we're canvassing and talking to people, and kind of, I mean, there's a lot of trust. You have a lot of trust. I wouldn't trust a stranger with $100, but I'm gonna trust somebody that I don't know at the post office to handle my stuff, and pass them off to about seven other people, and then get them in the box. Come on, come on. No, I was born in the day, but I wasn't born today. So we need to take that kind of mentality. And when we talk to people, just talk to them like that. Because they, you know, they're smarter than a lot of people that give. The weirdo people are smart, and we're waking up. So um
Definitely.
yeah, just hang in there, and we need to get more people in office, and yeah, no ranked choice voting. It's just stupid. So um yeah, we need to move
Thank,
the state forward. You move this state, and I'm all into anybody has any ideas or whatever, anything I can do on my side or my corner of this island or this whole island, let me know, and I'm down. So thank
that's
you.
awesome. Thank you, Lohi. Thank you, everybody. And some of the things that I did to help inspire me or get some clarity is I reached out, and you guys had mentioned the websites and looking at other websites across the nation. Well, you know what? You'd be more surprised at how willing other GOP chairs and people within
Yeah.
in there are willing to talk to you. We've had them on Zoom, maybe get a hold of coalitions and share ideas and what is working, because there's especially in the red states, or even the Republican parties that are in the blue states, and how they're challenging those obstacles. And here, we you guys are welcome back anytime, so that we have a platform, because it's also the members that need to be inspired and hear transparency and hear the truth and what you're doing. And here I feel right now is an opportunity for you to maybe recruit online. So if you guys, you want somebody on your committee, now's the time to do it. So in closing, maybe a quick closing statement, and encourage people where you need the help and how they can get a hold of you to help you out and be your support system throughout the state. You want to go ahead and start, Jody?
Even though I'm not the finance chair, we need finance chairs. So people, if you have fundraising ideas, please shoot them our way. But basically, my main thing that I would like to just share with everybody is, please be patient. We are working, and we are trying to bring this party back up. So, but if you guys have any ideas, I'm at treasurer@gophawaii.com. If you want to shoot me anything, if you have any questions, please just, let me know. And if you have a question about your account, I'm still working on them. So I don't have an answer right away, but I'm hoping by the end of this month, or sorry, end of next month, not by tomorrow.
That's right. Almost July.
Yes, that I will be able to have everybody's accounts there for them, and that it'll be readily available. Mark, I do love that idea too. Again, the main issue is if people are charging their cards the wrong way, that's still a problem also. So again, I just need to train everybody, or that we're all on the same page. I'm not saying that I know everything also right now, but yeah. So if you guys have any ideas, please, I'm a phone or email away. My phone has always been blowing up, so I'm an email away, but I always get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Keone?
Yeah, same as what Jody said. You have any ideas, any concerns, and please call me anytime. I'll answer. Mostly, if I don't, I'll call you right back. I'm either text or call me. But if you have any groups, anyone out there have any groups, whether like I'm part of I'm already Portuguese, so we got Portuguese culture. Anytime you have, whether it's Filipino or any kind of ethnic, small businesses, unions, and I will hit my union guys up too. I know they vote a lot of Democrats, but they have values like ours. Many of them have
Mhm.
like ours. So, and that's when they and I love advice. Wise man seeks advice, and I'm not going to go out there and I know everything because I don't. I'm growing, and be like Jody said, please be patient with us. But I'm willing to take all the advice you got and go out there and make a difference. And I'm going to say it again. I look forward to being together with you guys and getting building this relationship, so we can go out there. We got a big task, but we can get people in office and then meeting people. Getting new candidates out there, and we know Joel's running again next year too. So. I just joking. I just that. But we joke around on that. I know my wife; she's still healing from the second time. But you know what? You never know what the Lord has in store for us. But right here, this platform in front of us. Thank you, Tamara, for having us. I'm great to be with the team and catch up.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to. And Lohi, I'm gonna come see you next couple of weeks, Big Island. We got a volcano tournament for my daughter, and so I love the Big Island too. So thank you again.
Oh,
Thank you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Joelle.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is people who are passionate about getting involved. So even if you don't necessarily want to be a representative for your county or for your district, if you want to come out to different events, just pay attention to your emails, because
Mhm.
already we've started the chain of sending out information to Monique so that she can disseminate it to the party. And I intend on being involved as much as I possibly can with going maybe to the 4th of July parade in Kailua, possibly going out on August 18th over to Waianae to help out and see what's going on over there and see how I can get involved. That human trafficking awareness was a part of what the previous um, administration, I guess, or the previous executive committee was kind of pushing as one of their three things that they were really focused on. And I know that they've voiced that they want to continue to see that happening. And of course, we have the movie coming out on the 3rd of July.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of that movie called again? The voice of something.
Freedom,
I'm sorry.
voice of freedom, or some sound of
Voice,
freedom.
yeah.
Voice or the Sound of Freedom. Yeah, so I keep on
That's
thinking the Sound of Music. So I do encourage everybody to get out and go and see that movie. I know that there's groups of people within the patriotic community out here that already have bought tickets, and they're going to go have little small kind parties and stuff. So that's not necessarily something I'm going to put on paper probably quite yet as far as the movie goes, but there's a lot that we can do. I'm very excited. So I just want people to approach me and, get involved. My phone number is 808-799-0253, and it's seashell at gophawaii.com. So if you have ideas, or if you want to get involved, or if you know of somebody who might want to be in more of a leadership position, I also intend on getting with Mark later, as he has established the first Grange out on the islands. And like I said earlier about not reinventing a wheel, the Grange is an amazing organization that is, I believe, older than 1776. And
wow.
what they do is they kind of create a network of community. It's nonpartisan, but they also teach civics. And he was teaching a class on flags and the history of flags. Mark was teaching that class with his involvement through the Grange. And so it was real interesting to hear him talk about the roots therein. And so I want to be wise about how I incorporate the food security aspect into the Hawaii Republican Party and make sure I'm following all the rules. But the Grange is definitely something that sounds real promising. And so I'm looking forward to just working with everybody, getting to know, and growing a strong family with you guys. And that's all I got.
Thank you so much, Joelle. And Taylor?
Thank you. So definitely need a lot of help doing anyone that's had experience doing secretary roles, meeting minutes, tips on how to do it faster. um, Actually, there's a lot of things that I'd like to delegate. So if anybody wants to help in that area,
Filing.
yeah, filing, looking at everything. um, I can only retain X amount of information, so I'm willing to share, and especially with the different counties, if we can work together in that area. Just I know there's been a lot of things that happened in the past, but just knowing that we're trying to move forward and do things the best way that we can. So if anyone has, advice on, or even want to just help out in whatever way possible, we can make that happen as well. But I think overall, especially this year, having sit down conversations with your friends, with your community, I mean, people that you haven't talked to in a long time, and just let them know, hey, there's a Hawaii Republican Party. Do you vote Republican? Like, hey, let's have a chat. Let's, talk about it, because that's what I've been doing even before I decided to run to be secretary. I was already looking at how much people do want to get involved or may not know how to, beginner steps. So if you can email me as well, that's the best way to contact me. If not, I can talk like for hours on one conversation. And I love that. I love that, getting perspective and building relationships with everyone. But my email is taylor@gophawaii.com. And yes, there's a lot of places to grow right now. Hawaii Young Republicans are starting up again. So if you know anyone from 18 to 40 years old that wants to sign up, send them my way. We're going to make things happen. We're having a National Young Republicans convention in August. So if you're 18 to 40 years old, you want to go and you live in Hawaii, you want to represent and be a guest, let me know, or the chair, and we can send information your way. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And Lohi, last but not least.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, first and foremost, and congratulations to Joelle and Jody and Keone, and I look so forward to working with you guys. Just beasting it through. That's what we're gonna have to do here. But thank you guys. Um, Lohi at gophawaii.com. Um, my main focus right now is gonna be to assist the county chairs with whatever I can do with you know um getting the grassroots together, getting the I have I know of a place to get some resources if you need resources for your precinct, or not resources that I've actually invented, but that's been invented by people probably much smarter than me. So um and I'll be more than happy to point you to those and point you in the right direction of your district chair or your county chair. If you don't know who that is, if you're new or whatever, Lohi at gophawaii.com, and I'll be more than happy to coordinate you getting in touch um with your district, with your precinct, whatnot. And if you have any other interests, like if you know secretarial, or coalition stuff, or you're interested in community service, I'll be more than happy to point you to the brothers and sisters on here. So yeah, and it's I email back everybody. So Lohi at gophawaii.com. If you need anything from me and I can do anything for you, holla. I'll be right back.
Awesome. Thank
Thank you.
you. I really appreciate all of you coming on, and congratulations, Jody, Keone, and Joelle. We're super happy that finally it's over, and now the next phase can move on. And I appreciate your time. And I hope that in a couple weeks that you guys will come back on and we have more members of the team so we can communicate to the public of what's going on and share the excitement and the goals that have been reached and where we can go beyond. But I don't know, maybe we should just, all together at one time say enough already, right? 1, 2, 3. Enough
Enough
already.
already.
Alrighty.
This is gonna be my little sound bite, all right? So, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for staying for an extended time. And I look forward to talking to you guys more and seeing the progress that you are making and everything that you bring to the table. I think it's a wonderful team so far. So again, thank you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and make my closing statement, and I'll see you soon.
Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And as I always say, truth has no fear. But just in case you have some questions, you want to get a hold of any of these people, if you've missed it, you can watch the replay, or you can get a hold of me at rightasred@pm.me. That's rightasred@pm.me. We're going to keep talking story with real people, real stories, and putting some rumors to rest. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you tune in every Thursday at 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on the Liberty Rise Media platform on Rumble, YouTube, Red Pill, and Facebook. You can also find me on Facebook as well as Instagram, Redtime Stories. Still working on that Redtime Stories for Children. It's coming along, so I'm hoping it will be done within the next couple weeks, where we talk about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Pledge of Allegiance, and manners, and things that really we need to get back and teach our children, rather than the alternative ideals that are being pushed and forced down our children's throat in America. And we need to start fighting back, because just like we were saying earlier, enough already. Anyways, thank you again for joining in, and remember, the truth has no fear.